So I wanted to make another one of these gramophones because I had an idea last time and I opted out on doing it because I wanted to see what it looked like as it was supposed to be. So this time I bought another one so I could try this little idea out. And I just put on there hold while I fixed my TV so I could listen to YouTube music while I'm making this. Time lapse kind of thing. So because I wanted to get it right, I made sure to do thumbnail sketches this time around. And so I tried, so the darker spots are supposed to be where the holes are for the design. And I did kind of make that first one a little skinny. I was looking at different reference images and I'm happy with the end result. But I really hope that the green thumbs out there can see what I was trying to do and say and tell me if I got it accurate or not. I don't have a green thumb, but I have a lot of family members with green thumbs. But that's a hint, because this is supposed to be roots. So what I'm going for is like a grass patch, a patch of grass that you've taken out of the ground to like replant it. And so I was going for grass roots. I was looking up images and everything, and oddly enough, the real life image was better reference image than the cartoon version of it. And because rocks usually, or there's usually rocks in the soil based on all the reference images I saw. I put rocks in the bottom piece on both sides just because I didn't know if I'd be able to flip it. And so that's what I'm doing here, is those blobs are supposed to be like rocks in the soil kind of thing. And the top is going to be green, all green, and then I'm going to add some grass, some cartoon grass pieces kind of thing. Sorry, I have a hard time saying the word cartoon without adding an extra N in the pronunciation. I apologize. I know that's a problem I have. I'm trying to get out of it. I mispronounce that word all the time. And I didn't realize it till someone pointed it out. But anyway, here I am trying to make grass and then the roots of the grass on the ground. And so I think it turned out pretty well. Now, one of these pieces couldn't be swapped, unfortunately. So every other piece, I could swap it around, and it was fine. But there was one, and that is the piece where you need the, that has the hole for the music box. So unless you're doing this without applying the music box, some people might not want the music box in there. You have to put that one a certain way. The one with the hole that has the music box for it has to go a certain way. It has to line up with the music box, and there's no way around it, unfortunately. Unless you re-drill the holes, which I don't have that. I don't have the materials to do so. So that's why that one has to be the right way, while the other ones can be the opposite way. Because I wasn't sure, can I do this, like, flip these pieces around and act like a blank canvas type thing. So, learn the hard way, unless you don't include the music box. Some people might not want to. So, unless you don't include the music box, everything can be swapped to the opposite side for the box, aside from the piece that the music box dial thing you turn to play the music box goes. I know, I ranted on that for a little while. But while that was drying, I decided to just fix up these wood chick ornaments that I got at the Dollarama for Easter. Because I'm trying to cut back on my sweets and everything. So I decided, hey, I could do this instead and still have something fun for Easter type of thing. And so I'm still working on this past Easter, but it's still fun. You know, maybe next Easter I could, you know, place them around the house, like hide them around the house because they're ornaments or whatever. Or if you have a kid, you could do this as well. I don't know. Anyway, for that. But anyway, here I am just putting a sealer coat of Mod Podge on everything just to make sure it doesn't fade over time, that kind of thing. And I mean, why not? So, there's that. And I'm actually really happy with the end result of the box. I kept the horn of the gramophone the same as I did last time because it wasn't broke, so I'm not gonna fix it. But anyway, I wanted to keep it that way because I have this like piece that I have in mind, right? Like it's supposed to look like you've taken this out of the garden to replant it, kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to do. So here I am now figuring out the music box thing. So I was playing it just to make sure it did work, and I put everything together, and that's when I realized, yeah, or I think I realized it a little bit before then, but I was like, oh great, now this piece has to go in reverse or whatever. And the original thing has like stars on the corner of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna ruin my idea here. So this is a time lapse, and I also because I can't work that fast. Also, the last one I did all in one day, and it was exhausting. This one I did in separate days. And it was a lot better because I spread it out. It wasn't as tiring to do, because the horn part of this is the hardest part. It's very finicky and it doesn't always want to stick together. So wood glue is essential for this project. And this was the first day I worked on it. I'd done as much as I could. It was probably about 8-ish when I started, 48-50-ish when I started that project, and it was midnight when I finished the box part, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'll do the rest tomorrow. Alright, and now here I am doing the rest of it, and this is the record. Now, because I have this plant theme going, it took me a while, but I figured out I wanted to do one of those like succulent plants you see in a lot of fairy gardens, on the record part, so that I could include the record, because I don't know where to put it if I'm not including it. And it would still go with the design kind of thing. So here I am again doing a rainbow flower. I like rainbow color. I like doing things with rainbow. So it's just I like bright colors, okay? So yeah, I'm just adding the colors. I'm doing them in the colors of the rainbow. So the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or a variation of purple. And then there's also 2 extra pieces, so I just went with pink variations, pink and red variations for those final ones. And this time I made each of the pieces that would connect the flower petal to the inside of it the same color on both sides. I mean, same shade on both sides. So there, I've put all this together here, and I believe, no, it's not this one. There's one clip in the future where I had to cut it short because I ran into like people who were doing yard work and they were messing. It was very noisy. I didn't want to disturb them. So, so anyway, here I am just putting the marker, using paint markers on here. I really like these paint markers. I hope I can get more in for my birthday. Come September. I'm filming this in May? Yes, May. I'm recording this in May, so that'll be something I add to my birthday list, is more paint markers with brush nibs. Specifically brush nibs. Alright, sorry, my screen faded to black because I hadn't touched it in a while, so I was like, what's going on? Anyway, so here I am just painting everything. Now I made the little like needle, I think it's called a needle, for the record, yellow, so it's supposed to be like pollen, to kind of represent pollen, in a way. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do yellow, it'll be pollen, okay? I know it's not going to be, like, right in the center, but whatever. I have this plan, and I hope it, looks good at the end, and I hope that the green thumbs out there can, think it looks like what I was trying to do. And if it doesn't look realistic, then it's a cartoon. Again, sorry. Why do I have such a hard time pronouncing that word without adding extra letters? Ugh. Alright. Comment down below a word that you have a hard time pronouncing so I don't feel alone. Alright. Here's the succulent plant I was referencing when I drew on that record. Can't remember the name of it specifically, so that's the reference image I got off Google. And here are angles of it. As you can see, there's a little bit, you can see faintly the stars on the side where the, what is it called? The thing that the dial for the music box. Anyway, that I made here. So here are different angles of it, zoomed in there. How do you think I did on this box? If you have a green thumb. I tried to make like a grassy top here, and then like the grass roots and the dirt behind it, like as if you were to take a piece of grass out to replant it, kind of thing. But I don't know how I did. Maybe someone with a green thumb can tell me how I did. And that's what the back looks like. I tried to make like rocks, because usually there's rocks and soil. And that's the top. And that's going to have like a succulent flower on top of it where the record is on my other one. Like that. That is going to be... One sec. This or this, whatever at the time I put it together, I like better. So this one or this one. The circle piece. Where it's supposed to be a record originally, but it's going to be like one of those like succulent flowers that you see in like fairy gardens and stuff. Yeah. But that will be put together tomorrow. Now here I am just fixing up the previous gramophone I made, because when I was taking everything out to work on it today, or when I did this clip, that had fallen just the wrong direction and it snapped the stem piece. So, anyway, I'm not sick. It's just a little dry. And this one I think was the one I had to get cut short because we had hired people to do our yard work and I didn't want to get in their way. So, anyway, as I'm doing this, you can see me putting everything together. Well, I put some of it together. Some of it I was like, okay, well, this needs to be redone. This needs to be redone. So I would fix it, and then I sprayed it, and then I guess I left it on that too long, on this mat too long, and it collected the leftover dried paint from paint pouring. So it's kind of tie-dyed now. Some of the petals are kind of tie-dyed now. So here I am. You can see the chopper things, the pliers that I'm using, and those are because sometimes when I take the pieces out of the wood, it has some extra pieces of wood attached to it that don't need to be there. So here I am adjusting everything and fixing it and being hyper perfectionistic here, which ended up failing because I left them on the drying mat too long, and they collected the paint from the previous paint pours I did with this box and everything. So here I am just fixing everything up, and then I'll do a coat of spray of Mod Podge, spray on Mod Podge, and here I am. I sprayed it on. And then here I am trying to attach what is dry together. So, and the little needle, again, it's yellow, but you can't see it right now based on the angle here. But yeah, when it up close, sorry, I can't speak today. Up close, it does look a little better, but I am filming with my phone, so it's a top-down thing. But anyway, that was the best angle I could get for it. And that's me putting all the petals together while I put the red, the yellow, and the orange pieces together. And then I attach the pieces there. Okay. Now I am changed my location. It's a different day. I'm now in the backyard. I was in the front before, and finishing up these petals and putting them together. So here I am putting everything together, and these are very fragile. I should have figured that beforehand. I did know that it was very fragile, but there was some breakage when attaching the flower horn thing as I was attaching it all together. Some petals broke, but I tried to fix it in a way that you wouldn't be able to tell. But no, I am aware I made that mistake, and it is super fragile if you're doing this, just to be careful. And I put glue on every single piece I could because I did not want it falling apart. I am not redoing this or anything like that. So I tried to put as much glue as I possibly could without overdoing it, and applying it with a paintbrush, a very cheap paintbrush, and everything, so that it stayed in place, kind of thing. So there, I'm putting this flower pieces together. That stem had broken prior, so I was drawing on, repainting the part where the wood split, kind of thing earlier. So that is what I'm doing here. And now I've made that piece, but as I'm trying to fit everything in, the blue petal snapped. So it's not very noticeable because it's on the bottom, but I did accidentally break that petal as I was putting it together. So it took me a while to fix everything. And that was not sitting flush on the thing, and it was bugging me. The stem was not sitting flush on the box, and that bugged me a little bit. So anyway, that is all of this put together here. And as you can see, I put the time. I started the